Is a loaded why this team struggles, but Liam Hicks, hell of a debut. Hell of a debut. Before we get into the show, so we're going to start off with the good, which was Liam Hicks. We'll get into the bad, which was Freddie Peralta. You know, all my thoughts on him. I don't think you need to panic. We'll get into that coming up at 12:20 this afternoon. But the Rays do win last night in 11 innings, 9-7. They blow a 5-1 lead, but end up walking away with a dub. Now, last night before the Rays were on, I couldn't help myself but turn on the Dodgers and watch Scooble's first start. I managed to go through 2 innings, and he didn't give up a hit in those 2 innings. I'm like, he's going to throw a no-hitter tonight, isn't he? Now, he ended up taking an L. And the Dodgers have lost 5 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. It is not an automatic that they are going to win the World Series. You know, I went back and looked at the biggest World Series favorites ever. A lot of times, they did not win. I'd have to go back and hold on. I have it here. I wasn't prepared to start with this, but I thought it was interesting to kind of point out some of the biggest favorites ever. Somebody sent it to me here in a chat. They wrote in 2003, the Yankees were minus 250, lost. 1998, Yankees minus 150, lost. Actually, no, the Yankees won. 2001, the Mariners plus 120, lost in the ALCS. Dodgers right now are plus 140. Now, these were mid-season World Series odds. This came from somebody that works in the building. I don't know if these are accurate, but they sound about right. Although minus 250 mid-season for a Yankees team, even though the Yankees were dominant, that seems like really low odds. But regardless, the big-time heavy favorites don't always win. So you have something to look forward to. Before we get into Liam Hicks, Tim, you okay over there? Are you breaking a lot of things? The other day was the microphone. Today you're breaking the headphone jacks. You all right?
I'm good. I think it's, you know what? I love our other producers, but I'm just saying. It's not, I'm the one that it falls upon. And then it's loosened by them. It's loosened by them.
Okay.
But I take the brunt of it.
We could put the blame on Mathis. It looks like he lives in there with all of the stuff that he has in there.
Right.
Has he started to take some of it home? Because it looked like it was his second apartment for the longest time.
There's still plenty of memorabilia in here. I'd assume it's his.
Oh, is it his? Maybe he's leaving the memory. He's like, I want you guys to have my memorabilia. Ronnie Lane coming up at 2 o'clock with Inside Pitch. Does he know it's at 2 o'clock? Because I came into the studio. I have not seen Ronnie, but I know he's here because in the studio, his headphones were plugged in, his cowboy hat was on the table, and his backpack is in the chair where my backpack is sitting now. I'm not sure if he knows I have a show before he goes on, but he's set up like he was ready to roll.
It's a day game. I had to recheck the schedule to be like, okay, what time were they playing?
I would have been really upset if I wasn't on today because
after the game last night.
Well, I had planned out a nice show today. I'd been pretty upset if it all just went to waste. But here we are. Some good things to talk about, some bad things to talk about. But let's start with Liam Hicks. First Ray to ever hit a grand slam in his Rays debut, which couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, this team had yet to hit a grand slam all season long. That's kind of what we opened up the show with, talking about how they just struggle when the bases are loaded. What were you going to say, Tim?
That was a crazy stat. Whenever they were like, that's the first Rays grand slam of the year, I was like, seriously?
I had that. That was one of those moments. Do you ever say anything? I impress my wife with this all the time, and usually it's really just useless knowledge, but I'll be like, that's the first grand slam they hit all year, and then Andy Fried on TV is like, that's the first grand slam they hit all year. Like when you say something and the announcers copy you, and you're like, I could totally do that job.
I knew that.
Not really. I couldn't really do that job. Andy Fried does a hell of a job. He does
Legend.
TV, he does radio, does it both. But he was on the call for the TV broadcast last night, and that's where I was watching the game. The 8:40 starts, though. I'm not a fan. I'm ready to get back here on the East Coast. I just am ready to be back to our 6:40 start times. And I know the 6:40 start time probably isn't convenient a lot of times trying to get to the game from work, but it sure is convenient when you're at home watching the game, that's for sure. I think that the impact of this trade for Liam Hicks, I think about the impact it's going to have on Junior Caminero long term. Having a guy like Liam Hicks hitting behind him rather than going right into Cedric Mullins. And Mullins has his spurts where he's great, but for the most part, he's been below average this year. And Mullins is the guy that I keep waiting to come around and be that guy because I really think he could be the secret weapon. And what I mean by that is I just think of how good this lineup could be if he was just average on a daily basis. Unfortunately, we don't get that. We see moments of greatness, and for the most part, we see below par baseball when it comes to the plate, for Cedric Mullins. But having a guy like Liam Hicks behind Junior Caminero is just going to do so many great things for Junior. And you saw it last night in the game. He really had a couple of opportunities to send the ball out of the ballpark when the bases were loaded in that third inning. He got the right pitches. He just didn't make the most of them, unfortunately, and you don't usually see Junior Caminero make those mistakes.
Yeah, Junior, after the first game on, what's today, Tuesday, or Monday, he was on fire on Monday. And then yesterday I was watching it going, he just looks like he's trying too hard. Like he wants to hit a home run every at-bat because of how hard he hits the ball, and it's in Colorado. I just felt like he was trying too hard a lot last night.
I also think when the bases are loaded, I don't know what's going through his mind when bases are loaded. Like, is he looking for a grand slam?
His eyes get big. He's like, salivating like the hitter and rookie of the year with his tongue going back and forth there.
Dude, that guy was so scary as a kid. I'm like, this guy's just an elite hitter. I know exactly who you're talking about, Rookie of the Year. Great movie.
That's a good movie.
So you like Rookie of the Year, but you hate Moneyball.
Correct.
And don't get me wrong, Rookie of the Year, I mean, as a kid, it was
awesome.
One of my favorite movies ever. It was unfortunate when he then got hurt and then his arm was no longer the same. And it was like just that was your typical Cubs luck in the 90s. They had the secret weapon, but at least
he was already going to quit before that anyway.
Why?
Yeah, I know, right? You're 13. You're pitching to the majors. Come on, man.
And you got Chet Steadman, the Rocket. What a great movie. It really was. But, yeah, Junior had his opportunities last night. There were some really good pitches where you're like, oh, if he connects on those. And he just missed. And I don't know what he's doing differently with the bases loaded. But I will say this about Junior. Such a great teammate. We saw it 2 nights ago when Kenny Piper got his first ever career base hit in Major League Baseball. Knowing he was going back down to the minors, it was Junior that popped out of the dugout first and was like, yo, let me get that baseball. We need that in here. That's a souvenir. I thought that was such a cool moment. And yesterday, when Hicks hit that home run, Junior taught Hicks the home run celebration. He told him to take off his helmet and run through the line of teammates. And what's funny about that is because, when the Rays hit a home run, they run through the dugout. All the teammates have like their arms in the air. They do their thing. Well, Hicks, before the game, he said that it crossed his mind to ask what the home run celebration was. It had crossed his mind to ask, but he didn't want to jinx it. And then he ends up hitting a grand slam, which was just absolutely incredible. It was so awesome. It was a great moment last night. But just a fun moment that the Rays needed. And it was great to see Hicks have a great night. Now, Liam Hicks did speak after the game with Ryan Bass. Here's his interview after the game.
Well, what a way to welcome him to the squad. Liam Hicks here in his first game as a Ray. Liam, I'll get to your grand slam in a second. But how about the job of the rally offensively, but that bullpen only allowing 3 base runners from the 5th inning on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting to see them from the other dugout this year, I knew that they're pretty special out there. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, they're a bunch of really nasty guys. It's fun to catch, and it's fun to watch them.
Liam, for you, to have the debut that you've had, no Rays player in his debut has ever hit a grand slam. You've never hit a grand slam until that point. Take me through the at-bat and how you're able to hit that fastball out and drive all the runners in.
Yeah, I got the pitch before and was like a little late on it, so told myself don't miss it if he throws it again, and luckily got one in a good spot. I'm just trying to drive the run in.
When I talked to you earlier, you had mentioned, look, I don't want to do too much, just kind of repeat what I did. This was a lot of what we saw down in South Florida. You lifting the ball into the air, and it seemed like the recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to get back to that. I mean, credit to the rest of the guys for getting on in front of me and giving me that opportunity. And, yeah, not trying to do too much. Just get it in the air and score a run.
Did you know what the home run tunnel was when you were running through there? Because you had some pause at first.
Yeah, no, I still got some stuff to learn. It was a lot of learning day one, but I'm glad I got that out of the way.
Say it was a successful onboarding. Liam, congratulations. Go enjoy it with the boys. First win as a Ray.
Absolutely successful first day from Liam Hicks, hitting that grand slam. I mean, what more could you really ask for? Now, before the game, I thought this was really cool. So Nick Fortes joined T-Kraz on the drive here on 95.7 WDAE and AM 620. Every Tuesday, T-Kraz will speak to a Rays player, and it was Nick Fortes this week. And he actually called Liam Hicks when the trade was made official. Here is what Nick Fortes had to say about the call with Liam Hicks before he got here.
Yeah, I called him right after it happened, right after the news broke. I gave him a call and told him that I'm really excited, and he's really going to enjoy this clubhouse and this staff. They're fantastic here, everybody top to bottom. So I was just telling him that I was looking forward to him getting here, and now today, coming to the clubhouse, having a couple meetings with him and filling him in, bringing him up to speed on all the things that we do from the pitching side of things, trying to make his transition smooth, like mine was last year. So just trying to do everything I can for him.
Remember I asked the question yesterday when Hunter Fiducia got traded? He was probably in Colorado. I said, did the Dodgers send a coach ticket, first-class ticket, private jet, bus? Like, how did he get to where he was going? I have the same question for Liam Hicks. Do you think they made him drive? Actually, no, they're in Colorado. So he definitely got a flight. Do you think they sent a jet, private jet, first class, coach?
See, the Rays are a first-class organization, unlike the Dodgers. So, yeah, they sent the private jet for him.
I think they sent the private jet, too, because they needed him last night to play.
That's right.
But had the game been at the Trop, do they make him drive?
That would be brutal.
Listen, buddy, we're on a budget up here. We're going to need you to drive. Keep your receipts. We're going to reimburse you for gas.
Oh, done that drive once. I hate that now.
It is the worst drive. You think it's not that far. And you're like, oh, it'll be fun. I'm going to go through the Everglades. It's not fun. Went to the Orange Bowl one time, and I regretted it like 10 minutes in, mainly because I was getting waxed by Georgia. But regardless, it was just not a fun drive. Nick Fortes also had some words on Freddie Peralta when he was on with T-Kraz. We'll get to that, plus my thoughts on the trade for Freddie Peralta. I'm not worried about Peralta yet, and I'll explain coming up next here on the Nick Wise Show. It's 95.7 WDAE and AM 620.